UFC bantamweight prospect Payton Talbott lost his O this past weekend at UFC 311. Payton was undefeated at 9-0 and took his first L to Raoni Barcelos via unanimous decision. Barcelos is 37 years old, Payton is 26, and people were expecting Payton to absolutely run through him. Payton was a whopping minus 1,200 favorite to win. It was one of the biggest upset losses in UFC history. Payton released a statement today in regards to the loss. He posted this to his Instagram. In the caption, he wrote, "The vet gave me my first scar. May the skin heal itself to be strong and never split again. Lucky to have such people in my life. Fortunate to be able to learn valuable lessons. Still had fun." Max Holloway has responded to Charles Oliveira suggesting that they should have a rematch for the BMF belt. Max and Charles fought 10 years ago back in 2015, and Max won via TKO in the first round. It was an extremely odd stoppage. While the two were fighting, Charles slowly fell down to the cage, grabbing his throat. At first, it was reported that Charles suffered a micro tear in his esophagus. However, it was later revealed that this was not the case. Charles said that when he fell to the cage, everything went numb and he couldn't feel his body. Charles did an interview with the UFC this week and said, "We'll have to see when Islam will want to come back. If he only wants to fight in October, I definitely want to fight before that. So why not challenge Max Holloway for the BMF belt? We met before, but I suffered an injury right in the beginning, so there wasn't an actual fight. I think we deserve to make this fight happen." Max responded to this interview on X. He wrote, "International Fight Week." Robert Whittaker responds to the notion that Magomed Ankalaev's style is Alex Pereira's kryptonite. Rob doesn't really see it that way and says Magomed's striking is not even close to Alex's. He adds that Magomed's takedowns aren't that good. Alex versus Magomed is set for UFC 313 on March 8th.
Alex Pereira and Ankalaev, man, they don't like each other. I love the story. I love the story that's getting built around it.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of people are saying Ankalaev is like got to take him down and bash him. He's going to be like his kryptonite. But man, I don't know. Maybe they're seeing something I'm not. Like his striking is nowhere near at Pereira's level, and his takedowns aren't that good. You know what I mean? Like he's got grappling, but I don't. Like he's not a. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And you can only imagine Pereira's been practicing with Glover in his corner for since day dot.
The rematch between Sean Strickland and Dricus Du Plessis goes down at UFC 312 next month. The two first fought in January of 2024, and Dricus won via split decision and took the middleweight title from Sean. Sean's coach Eric Nicksick made an appearance on the Believe You Me podcast this week and discussed what they will do differently this time around.
Well, not to give away too much, but I'll give you some things too, Mike, so first and foremost, you have to negate the forward pressure. You can't allow him to do his switch stances moving forward like that blitzkrieg kind of this and that. What negates that? What do we get away from? We got away from the teep. The teep will stop a lot of that forward pressure, that forward movement, right? If he does get through, and Felder and I work on this a ton. We work on the car crash. So if this guy gets through all my length and this far away and he gets to the inside, we got something waiting for you with the elbows. And then what happens when you do that? We can underhook into the takedowns and take this dude and put him on his back. Something that Brad Tavares did in the first round when they fought, and Brad was able to hold Dricus down and keep him on his back. So just what you said earlier, we see Sean Strickland in the gym out wrestling and out grappling damn near every person he goes with, but doesn't utilize that as a tool. So in the moments that we were taking down with Dricus, he hit a switch. Bro, take the switch and get on top. Don't disengage. Let's get some ride time ourselves, and let's get some damage back. Let's get some ride time on our end. So let's be a little bit more offensive when it comes to our style of wrestling as well. Dricus is taking you down and trying to hold you down, and you're working your get up, hitting your switch. Dude, let's go and get our own. Let's get on top and let's get some of these new 12 to 6s in. Let's get these elbows in and get some damage off, you know? So we need to put more scoring criteria in front of the judges so it's not just the jab, right? Hey, the jab was landing, it was looking great and everything else. But you remember, these judges are kindergartners, man. Like they gotta see sequence and glitter and colors and paint. You gotta paint a better picture. They gotta see things that they can appeal to. And if you just give them a jab, bro, they're gonna get lulled to sleep.
Belal Muhammad thinks Kamaru Usman is being a bit hypocritical by saying Islam Makhachev should go up to welterweight and fight Belal. Here's what Usman had to say on the Pound for Pound podcast this week.
This whole notion of a Belal training with them, they don't want to, bro. No, I'm going up there, I'm whipping him. I don't care. Just because he comes into our camp, just tries to use our bodies and learn our style, I'm moving up, I'm whipping him, I'm taking that belt.
So Belal and Islam are friends and training partners. Belal was even in camp with Islam, helping him prepare to fight Arman Tsarukyan at UFC 311. Belal recalls when Usman refused to fight Israel Adesanya, when Usman was the welterweight champ and Izzy was the middleweight champ. He calls Usman a coward and says he's now more of a podcaster than a fighter. Speaking to MMAfighting.com, Belal said they never trained together, but he said I would never fight Israel. He also said he would never fight Habib. I'm like, bro, you never trained with them before. When he said these guys train together, let's get rid of that notion. Bro, shut up. You've never been in a room with Adesanya or worked out or sweated with Adesanya in your life, and you made it seem like you would never fight him because he's your brother. If they're going out there and calling me out, this and that, it's a different story. But everybody's just looking for that notion to hate on me. They're looking for that notion because they don't want me to be champion. They want to make it seem like I don't belong. But I went out there and dominated the guy that beat you twice, Usman. Leon Edwards killed you. He knocked you out, put you out cold, and then dominated you. I went out there and dominated him and made it look easy. So you acting like I got lucky. Nah, bro. We're not on the same path. We're not on the same level. That's the thing. When Kamaru was champion, he wasn't looking for tests. He was a coward champion. He was the champion with, oh, let me get the rematch with Colby Covington, who sucks. Or let me get the rematch with Jorge Masvidal. His reign was rematches. He never wanted to fight the next best guy. He never wanted to fight the guy on the hot streak. He avoided those guys, avoided those tough tests. He was the coward champion. He wasn't looking for the toughest test. He wasn't that guy. This guy's a podcaster now, right? That's what it is. He's not a fighter. Also, too, it's like you're number 2 in the division. Do you not want to get your name back in the mix by fighting one of these tough guys? No, because he doesn't want to take these tough fights. He doesn't want to take these tough tests. He'll fight Khamzat Chimaev on 1 week's notice because now he knows he has an excuse built up if he loses. Oh, at least I took him on 1 week's notice, and nobody else would do that. It was a close fight, so I'm proud to be in a close loss. I hate guys like that are proud of close losses. You lost. You're on a 3-fight losing streak. You're closer to the Tony Ferguson streak than you are closer to being back in the title mix. Pretty soon, people that had you on the list of the top welterweights, you're going to be on that list of forgotten welterweights if you just stay on the sidelines and keep trying to be this podcaster that you suck at. For Usman, you just got called out by Joaquin Buckley. You got called out by Ian Machado Gary. He's getting called out by all these guys, and then he complains, all these losers keep calling me out. Why you keep calling me out? When I'm healthy, I'll fight, blah, blah, blah. Bro, you've been out over a year. If your knees are gone, your knees are gone. They're not going to get any better. They're not going to randomly grow cartilage. Either defend your ranking or get out of the rankings, because there's hungry guys, hungry contenders that are right there. I think he just wants to be a podcaster. He just wants to be a guy like Conor McGregor, where he stays in the mix by saying stupid stuff and hoping that it gets headlines. They're not going to be the guys that fight. They're not going to be the guys that want the next hungry guys anymore. Kevin Lee recently signed with the new MMA promotion GFL. He made an appearance on the Versus podcast today with Eric Nicksick. Kevin responds to the notion that he's washed and past his prime. Kevin is only 32 years old and recently had knee surgery. He says at the moment he has no injuries and feels like he's in the best shape he's ever been in. He also discusses a potential fight with Tony Ferguson under GFL. However, there has been no official news of Tony signing with the promotion just yet.
I haven't had that full mind-body connection.
And you're only what, 33?
I'm 32.
Dude,
yeah, I'm 32.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
You've been fighting for like 13 years already.
Yeah,
years?
and I think a lot of that, you know, because I've been fighting so long, like people think I'm older than what I am,
right.
And they're like, oh, well, you already been there and done that, but bro, I'm still like in the peak of my physical ability, and since I've had the knee surgery since 2020, like my career's really been on a pause. Like I've had a few fights that were stupid fights to take, you know, they just were, but now where I'm sitting now, like no injuries, my knees are totally healed. I feel in the best shape that I've ever felt in, and I think I'm gonna really prove that in April. Like I'm gonna work my off to make it happen. I mean, people already know that I'm gonna do that, but now I'm gonna do it in the intelligent way. Like I want to show like real fight IQ in this next stage of my career, like real fight intelligence. And I don't care who I'm fighting against. Right now they're talking about Tony Ferguson and signing him, and I would love that fight back.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a massive fight.
Yeah.
Even at the time of the promotion, like that was the first big pay-per-view since the Mayweather and McGregor thing happened. That fight was in August. Ours was in October.
And that was right after the Vegas shooting.
Yeah, right.
October 1.
A week after the Vegas shooting. And there's just so much that goes into that fight that I think now is the perfect time for us to do it. And it almost be like a loser leave town type of fight. Like, let's be honest. Like Tony's taking some bad losses. I've had some ups and downs in my career, and it'd be like a loser leave town type of fight. And I think it'd be a big fight all around the board.
Chito Vera made an appearance on Neon's stream, and Neon attempted to choke him out. It didn't work out too well.
Like this. I'm bring this behind my head. No. Close here. And then bring this under my head.
Damn, you have soft ass hair. Okay.
And then choke hard.
Hard?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I said I want to break your leg.
Go.
You won't sue me, right?
Yeah, make me tap. Go. Go hard for real.
I'm trying!
You need to work on the stretch for sure.
Oh, you're almost out right there.
Tom Aspinall thinks it's funny how Dana White said that Islam Makhachev is now the pound-for-pound #1 fighter and not John Jones.
Because of that, Islam deserves some maybe pound-for-pound #1 rankings.
He's already the pound-for-pound #1 rank.
But is he yours?
Yeah. I'll give it to him.
Fair enough.
Are you happy? Is everybody happy now?
Yeah, I got
pound-for-pound.
On his YouTube channel, Tom said now we're seeing Dana White coming out and saying that he's the pound-for-pound #1 in the world. Islam Makhachev, as we all know, to me, pound for pound is a lot of made up stuff. I don't look into that, but it's just funny that he kind of jumped ship now from John Jones to Islam. Islam did what he was supposed to do. Went out there, fought whoever was put in front of him, which is what a champion is supposed to do. Fought a guy that the UFC told him to fight, got the win, and he's levels above everybody else in that division. He's going to hold that belt for a long, long time, and that is something that I'm very excited for because I'm a massive Islam Makhachev fan. Dricus Du Plessis defends his middleweight title in a rematch with Sean Strickland at UFC 312. Yesterday, Sean released a video offering to make a pact with Dricus to keep the fight standing.
Listen, Dutchman, I'm gonna need you to be a man. I'm gonna need you to stand up, not go to your knees, and we're gonna need to strike like men. I know you like to wrestle and you like to choke people out and do some dude, but I'll make a pact with you, you make a pact with me, that we stand up like men and we settle this like men.
Dricus responded to that video. On X, he reposted the clip. He wrote, "There are no pacts between lions and men." Dricus also reposted this to his Instagram. It says, "Dricus, you already got bro pissing himself. Already trying to set narratives. I can't wait to see this motherfucker slumped." And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from the Screwed Millennial. It says, "How is no one commenting on Umar and Habib thinking Umar won the fight? I thought Merab dominated him." The second one's from Gibbsy95. It says, "I'm glad Jamal got humbled and brought back down to earth. He needed a reality check." And the final one's from Brandon Liu. It's in reference to Henry Cejudo admitting that Merab Dvalishvili is the bantamweight GOAT. It says, "Respect Henry for admitting that, while Kamaru can't even release the Belal interview." Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.